beautiful people. My name is Indy Maxine Weir, and I am the International Coordinator of the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival. I am here to tell you so much about this film festival and how you can participate and benefit from this film festival. So talking about film festivals, I'm sure you've heard of the popular ones like the Toronto International Film Festival, the Berlin International Film Festival, and of course you have the Venice International Film Festivals, who have made impact, global impact, over the years on the film industry. And much like these film festivals, the Taraba Human Rights Film Festival intends to make such an impact. But you know what? It is unique. It is talking about human rights, and that is the area we intend to impact using films. I mean, for our foreign participants, you have already sent your entries, over 1,000 of them from 100 countries all across the globe. We need you to come down to Taraba so that we can sit down together and go through them, go through our collective history, what has been, what is right now, and what should be to.
Good morning, Nigeria. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. My name is Abraham Minor Judah. I am tuning to the brightest sunrise on TV. That is the Sun TV morning show, where we'll spill wisdom and sprinkle your morning with just the right dose of sparkle. Now, I know it's weekend, and some of you are lying in bed wondering if you just if you should just lie down for the whole day or the whole morning. But well, spoiler alert, yes, you really need to get up, because your day deserves better than just lying on the bed. So well, before you go scrambling for what to eat, the breakfast, the morning chores, let's kick off with a little story to light up your soul. There was once a young boy in a quiet Nigerian village who loved flying kites. His kite would fly higher than the others, and not because it was the fastest, but because it ran the longest, even when the wind gave up. One day he said to an elder, "I just wanted to fly high. I just want to be high." The elder smiled and said, "You're already flying high. And flying high isn't about just leaving the ground. It's about refusing to stay down. So no matter what the week throws at you, keep running, keep trying, and keep rising." In the words of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, even when you are the best, you must keep working to remain the best. Resting on your laurels is not an option. So this morning, we are not resting on our laurels. We are running faster, running higher, and ensuring that we get better with each passing day. Well, this morning we're going to go to newspaper reviews, look at what the weekend papers have for us, the stories of the day, the stories that are trending, the stories that make the headlines of the major papers. So we are going to start with let me see which of the papers should we start with this morning. Okay, let's start with the Weekend Trust. Let's put our trust on the Weekend Trust this morning. The Weekend Trust, as the story says, Nigerians seek alternatives as beef gets out of reach. That is on page 12. Nigerians seek alternatives as beef gets out of reach. Then 2027 ministers eyeing governorship seats. That if you want to know the ministers that are in governorship seats, you can check that story on page 34 of the Weekend Trust. And now, disquiet over alleged plan for new Emirates in Katsina. So, yes, catch that story on page 28. The plots for the disquiet, the plan for new Emirates in Katsina. Then bed space, manpower shortage hits Abuja hospitals. That is quite an interesting one. That story is on page 9 of the Weekend Trust. And federal government to sanction airlines bringing passengers without valid visas. That's page 27. This is serious. Why should airlines carry ferry in passengers without valid visas? Supreme Court dismisses 36 state suits over use of 1.8 trillion naira recovered loot. That story is on page 38. You can read on why the Supreme Court dismissed the state suit over use of 1.8 trillion recovered loot. Now, the major headline on the Weekend Trust as 2027 hurdles before the coalition. The hurdles before the coalition in 2027. With the weakening of the opposition, political parties in Nigeria, pundits say only a few options are left for the opposition parties to make meaningful impact at the next general elections, with many concluding that each of the major opposition parties, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the Labour Party, and the New Nigeria Party is in bad shape. Going to the race separately will not make impact. And expectedly talks on forming a coalition to challenge the All Progressive Congress in the 2027 presidential election reached a crescendo this week. Leaders of the major opposition parties in Nigeria on Tuesday night hinted at using a common platform as a special purpose vehicle in the next presidential race. That is according to the reports of the Weekend Trust. The coalition led by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi, and former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai was formally announced on March 20. There are indications that the opposition leaders have settled for the African Democratic Congress, though the arrangements are yet to be finalized by them. So a statement by Malam Saliu Lukman, a key member of the 2027 National Coalition, on Wednesday explained on Wednesday that no decision has been reached on what party to join. They said the truth is negotiations among the coalition leaders is progressing very well, and decisions about political platform for the 2027 election will be taken soon. Unfortunately, there appears to be some mischief maker promoting and planting stories in the media with the clear aim of sowing seed of discord among coalition leaders. The public and media should please disregard all these mischievous stories. So at this stage, we will say that yes, even though there are meetings, there is no agreement yet. And even the stories about, initially we had stories that the coalition may use the SDP, Social Democratic Party, as a special purpose vehicle for the elections. That talk seems to have collapsed. And now we heard on Tuesday the ADC, and on Wednesday someone is also coming to refute that and say that for now no concrete agreement has been made. And I think if you ask me, it is this indecision and lack of agreement between members members of the political parties they are coming from. That is what led to the weakening of their parties and the scrambling for coalition or all about. So if at this stage they're still not able to put their hearts together, it's going to be a lot harder for them, because if you look at it, most of them were members of the PDP, members of the APC, Labour Party, and some other parties, the NNPP. And they're leaving their party simply because there's rancor in the party. There's no agreement on power sharing formula. Some parties said they've been infiltrated by the ruling parties and this and that. But now they want to come together to have a common front to contest, to oppose the federal government. But even at the early stage, we've seen this. But well, that is what it is. Nothing comes easy, yes, to form a major mega party, to run against the ruling party is not an easy thing, feat to achieve, and knowing that people will be coming from different ideologies, different ambitions, and all these ambitions, all these ideologies must be accommodated, and compromise must be reached. So, well, that is what it is right now. Now, some of this development has propped up as questions whether the top contenders for the 2027 presidency, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, may have agreed to go into alliance, which they couldn't do in 2023. Sources say the decision of the former governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, and the resignation of former advisor and the president, Akin Baba Ahmed, to join the opposition may have added verve to the opposition to form a coalition. Because if you know, Atiku Abubakar, El-Rufai, and Baba Ahmed were part of the 2014 coalition that resulted in the formation of the APC, which was able to wrest power from the PDP. So we can say some of these are politicians. They have experience in forming coalition. They've done it in the past and were successful at it. So probably their experience in the past may be brought to bear in this coalition. So, well, that is what it will take, because other papers still carry the story from different angles. So let us move to another paper this morning. Let's see which of the papers are. Okay, let me just take this major, the headlines on the cover page of the Daily Monitor. The Daily Monitor. So I don't plan to be a single mother, but life happens. That is Mercy Aigbe. That story is on page 5. Nigerians hoteliers decry multiple taxation, seek grants to boost sector. That story is on page 14 of the Daily Monitor. The alleged certificate forgery, court adjourns AMAC chairman's arraignment indefinitely. That story is on page 4. Then we have Katsina Dambao offensive. Army troops neutralize cause of terrorists, recover weapon. You can catch that story on page 2 of the Daily Monitor. Okay, we also have 35-year-old music teacher gets life imprisonment for defiling 9-year-old girl. That story is on page 2. Then I Love My Little Booty, that is Thames, that is on page 5 of the Daily Monitor. So we also have outcry over distribution of fake fertilizers in Bauchi. The story is on page 2. The energy expert to federal government's incessant tariff increment, no solution to Nigeria's electricity crisis. So, well, that is the story we have on. That story will be on page 10 of the Daily Monitor. That story is on page 10 of the Daily Monitor. Let's go to another paper there. We're going to another story, another paper to look at. Okay, let's go to the Guardian. The Guardian for today has stories on Funke Auto worry at 98. I do not know what more to say than to thank God. That story that is on the front cover page of the Guardian. Then Sokoto residents will soon feel impact of the Skills and Entrepreneurship Development Ministry. That is Mohammed. That story is an interview on page 20 of the Guardian. Then you have other stories on the cover page. Ground rent payment default. Wike seals PDP secretariats 4,793 other properties on Monday. That story is on page 2. The federal government insists on local solar panel manufacturing to retain 40 billion access funds. And African leaders must strengthen collaboration against escalating security threats. That's the minister. Then peeping into Adeguru's book, Leadership in Nigeria Civil Service. That is on the back page of the Guardian. Then the major headline on the cover page of the Guardian has it that Operation Jagabanize, Southern Nigeria on the rise. That story is on page 8 and 9. So we're going to look at that major headline on the Guardian, Operation Jagabanize, Southern Nigeria on the rise page. That is a story from the Guardian today. Okay. Well, from the angle of the Guardian, Others have the story that although the ruling All Progressive Congress has only 9 out of the 17 states in the southern Nigeria are firmly under its control, the party is still totally making inroads into the remaining states towards boosting the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu chances of victory in 2027 elections. Ahead of the 2027 elections, indications have emerged that there is a conscious effort by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, supporters and his party, the APC, to ensure that the president emerged victorious at the polls across the southern states with good margins. As a result, the party, which has 7 states in the region under control at the end of the 2023 elections, Lagos, Ogun, Ekiti, Ondo, Imo, Ebonyi, and Cross River, now has 9 with victory at the September 21, 2024 Edo State governorship election and the recent defection of Governor Sheriff Oborevwori of Delta State to the APC. Now, with all federal and state lawmakers and other key stakeholders, including vice president candidates of the PDP in 2020 general election, Ifeanyi Okowa boosting their ranks. While we will look at the major defections in the party, in that magnitude of what transpired in Delta State has not been recorded lately. Well, developments in the polity points to the Punchan operation jagabanized in the south well ahead of the 2027. That is how the Guardian termed the defections. It says a jagabanization of the south. While Tinubu will be marking his 2 years anniversary in office in 5 days' time, underground works by different political parties towards outwitting each other at the 2027 polls has long started. And last Wednesday, former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, a founding member of the APC who defected to the Social Democratic Party, confirmed that leaders of the planned coalition have been meeting, stressing that they will ensure that President Tinubu goes back to Lagos after the 2027 polls. So that is what the opposition parties are saying. Well, let us take just one more paper before we go for a break. Before we go for a break, let's take just one more paper. Yes, the blueprint, the weekend blueprint. We have a story of the unforgotten hero, Ernest Shonekan. Ernest Shonekan was the head of the interim national government that was put in place after President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida stepped aside after annulling the June 12 elections. So that is it, the unforgotten hero. Then 2023 UTME jam glitches, how to prevent reoccurrence, experts, stakeholders. Say jam needs structural reforms, that is Professor Uba, but ICT should be audited. Then we are investigation glitches, that is according to the House of Reps. Nigerians should ask governors what they've been doing with allocations. That is Dr. Ovuede. That's Dr. Ovuede. That story is on page 16. We also have what inspired me to start writing film stories by Abu Hidayah. That is on page 17 of the weekend, the Blueprint weekend. And investors take 18.122 billion on shares Friday. That story is also on page 7 of the Blueprint weekend. And don't run in 2027. Afghan National Youth Leader advises Atiku. Don't run in 2027. That is the Afghan Youth Leaders advising Atiku Abubakar. Then security concerns, Idoma Traditional Council asks herdsmen to vacate their land. A story broke yesterday where the traditional ruler of the Idoma Kingdom in Benue State, the Ochie Idoma, asked herdsmen to vacate their land. So that is the story. The story is on the Blueprint weekend. Today is Saturday. So, with this, we'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the newspaper analysis on Some TV Morning Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a few moments.
Commissioner, Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations, Honorable Shonzin James Bernard, on behalf of the ministry, wish to inform the general public that from now onward and as part of our ongoing commitment to maintaining a clean and sustainable environment, the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations frowns at the way citizens of the state don't keep their immediate environment clean, dump waste indiscriminately across the state like in the gutters, thereby blocking drainages and waterways, causing flooding. It is on this regard that I wish to communicate some significant changes and regulations that will take effect immediately. 1. Keep your immediate surrounding clean. Take responsibility of waste generated by you. Package your waste properly to be taken to certified dump sites. Avoid dumping waste in gutters and waterways. Participate in community cleanup initiatives. 2. The ministry have reintroduced sanitary inspectors who, together with enforcement team, will be deployed to conduct regular inspections throughout the state. They will assess compliance levels and provide guidance to those who may need assistance with proper waste disposal practices. Please cooperate with them. 3. Activities of private waste managers in the state have been banned forthwith until an appropriate operational permits are obtained from the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations. 4. Illegal dumping of waste by any private waste managers shall henceforth attract a fine of 350,000 naira only and their utility truck confiscated. 5. Illegal dumping of waste by an individual shall henceforth attract a fine of 150,000 naira only. 6. Cleanliness starts from your home. Be a part of the solution and not part of the pollution. If you can't clean up your surroundings, then don't make it dirty. 1. Who maintains cleanliness keep away diseases. Follow cleanliness to kill tomorrow diseases. Together, we can create a cleaner, greener, and healthier Taraba. Announcer, Philibus Daniel Adamu, Permanent Secretary. The Honorable
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At Taraba Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At Taraba Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent.
This digital age, staying ahead of the curve is crucial for success. Taraba Business School is committed to empowering the next generation of leaders with the skills they need to thrive. We present to you our special computer training exclusively designed for SS3 and JSS3 graduates. Our comprehensive program covers a wide range of topics, including Microsoft Word, master the art of document creation and editing, unlock the power of data analysis and visualization, Microsoft Access, learn to manage and analyze database, Microsoft PowerPoint, create stunning presentations that captivate audiences, graphic design using CorelDRAW, unleash your creativity and design skills, Photoshop, enhance your image editing skills and create stunning visuals, programming using web design, build dynamic websites and web applications, database development, learn to design and manage databases, UI/UX design, create user-friendly and intuitive interfaces. At the Taraba Business School, we believe in creating world-class entrepreneurs and professionals. Our experienced instructors will guide you every step of the way, providing you with hands-on training and mentorship. Don't miss this opportunity to gain a competitive edge. Contact us today to learn more about our program and register for the next session. Call 080-6026-9140, 070-6342-8464 or 090-1010-8844 between 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. Taraba Business School, creating world-class entrepreneurs and professionals. Join us today and unlock your full potential. Taraba Business School, opposite Civil Service Commission, Hamarua Way, Jalingo, Taraba State. Empire
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators.
Welcome back to the morning show on Sun TV. Before we went on that break, we were doing analysis of the national dailies in Nigeria, and we're able to do one or two stories. But now we're back, and I'm here with a guest that will do justice to the stories on the cover pages of the Nigerian newspaper. I am Abraham Manejoda, and with me, the guest with me this morning is a veteran journalist and someone that his analysis have been bringing joy to a lot of people over the years. Mr. Dominic Akpesuen, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, viewers. Thank you for staying with Sun TV. This morning, we're also going to analyze some of our political and happening within Nigeria. Thank you very much. Okay,
thank you very much. Well, without much ado, let us go to the papers. We've done one or two stories in the cover page of some papers. Let's go to the Saturday Tribune. We're going to the Saturday Tribune today. We have the stories on the Tribune. We have Obasanjo, Atiku, Sambo, Ayedatiwa, Oyinlola, Aregbesola, Oyetola, Oni, others grace our Obokun's coronation. Tinubu, Adeleke charge new Oba on unity. That story is on page 4 of the Saturday Tribune. Then we also have other stories on the Saturday Tribunes. Let's take the major headline on paid ground rent. Government to seal off PDP headquarters on Monday. Parties Tuesday next meeting at risk. PDP vows to challenge takeover action not politically motivated. That is FCTA. So that is the story that we're going to look at. Let's just give a background of the stories as reported by the Weekend Tribune. With just days to a pivotal National Executive Committee next meeting, the People's Democratic Party faces a fresh political storm as the Federal Capital Territory Administration prepares to take possession of its national secretariat over decades-long ground rent defaults. The FCT on Friday confirmed that it will begin enforcement of revocation orders affecting 4,794 properties across I district of the capital, including the PDP headquarters on Monday, 26, 2025. The moves follow expiration of 21-day grace period given to the defaulting property owners to pay their debts, some of which date back 43 years. The total outstanding ground rent stands at 6.9 billion according to the FCT officials. Mr. Dominic, that is the situation the PDP finds itself now.
Yes, thank you very much. This one is not an issue of PDP alone. It's an issue of a collective pains from others as well. You can see about 793 properties that is are going to be affected. But now PDP, being one of the giant political parties occupying Wadada House for a long time, since 1999 to date, it is believed that if it is involved in this kind of action by the FCDA government leadership, I think that it is very, very disastrous. And of course, it is not a story that one can take for granted, because the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, is this kind of a person that people look at him as talk and do human being, that whatever he says, he must take into action. That is another second El-Rufai of the FCT as a minister. So the PDP leadership shouldn't take this for granted. The next meeting that is scheduled to comfort maybe another added blue to the party officials as the FCDA are now trying to come in a different negative mood against the party, adding salt to the existing injury of the party as well. So I think this is too much for PDP to chew.
Well, when contacted, the party publicity secretary, Debo Ologunagba, stated, Thursday, we will deal with it on Monday, signaling maybe that's a signal that there will be legal action or political resistance. Well, the next gathering is expected to deliberate on key issues. Now, one thing I've noticed is that this came after expiration of 21 days given to them to pay up some months back. And I think the PDP should have envisaged this if they were strategic.
You see, Mr. Abraham, I always ask myself why Nigerians always like to consume public facilities for free.
For free.
In Nigeria, exactly in Nigeria, Nigeria doesn't want to pay tax, and they need development. If you don't want to pay tax, how do you expect government to generate revenue and develop, provide the necessary facilities that the society is being clamoring for? You can imagine that some people drive their vehicle without renewing their vehicle particulars. People don't even want to pay the power they consume. You imagine that the people who are in charge of energy supply goes along collecting their bill with security agents. Why should they force you to pay what you consume?
And
you know, so if the PDP that occupy Wadada House for over decades now are being forced to pay their tax on their ground rate, that means it is not something worth even putting to the public domain. It has become, and it's a big shame for the leadership of PDP to allow such to happen to them. You have never recovered from the existing injury, and you are now adding another one, compiling problems and making it so cumbersome to a point that you'll be confused in taking decision. This is not proper. The leadership of PDP should take to sit back and look forward and see how to resolve these kind of issues that will continue to paint them black before the common Nigerians. Yeah,
because if you ask me, the Nigerians will ask, you want to rule the nation, but you're not even showing responsibility in paying what
you are unable to even rule yourself.
Rule yourself. You know? And I will have said probably in the past, maybe some stakeholders will have come together to make this payment. But with everybody leaving, those that have not left, they are in coalition outside. And those inside are sitting tight on their positions. So only God knows how.
Why should you put your money into a facility that you don't know the future of it?
That is
you know, these people, they were thinking the party is organized in the manner in which you will give them favor in 2027. But with the lingering crisis in the party so far, they are now being afraid. Bringing in their money to sponsor the party again. You don't sponsor what you don't see joy in it. Because nobody takes money to where he will not see the benefit of what he's spending for. Do you understand? So actually, PDP should put their acts together and overcome this kind of challenges that is affecting the party. This is not giving the party a good name. And if care is not taken, the adage that if we want to hang a dog, we give it a bad name, we surely hang the PDP on the neck. On the neck.
Thank you very much. And if you want to join the conversation, the number to call is 07049198503. The number will be displayed on the screen of your TV set. 07049198503. That is the number to call to join the conversation this Saturday morning. Well, let us go to another paper. This morning, we've been... Okay, that was the Tribune. Let's go to the Punch. The Punch, Saturday Punch. We have Oba Obokun eyes 5 billion naira development funds as Obasanjo Atiku Grace coronation. That is on page 8. So then another story, he has a very sad story. Dad, they've shot me. Heartbreaking moment. Police killed Oyo schoolboy. That is a very, very sad story. And I think the trigger happy police who did this should be charged, and justice should be done. Because it's quite unfortunate that such a young boy will just lose his life in that manner. Then pregnant Ogu women flee to Benin Republic as healthcare crumbles. The story is on page. Is also on the Punch. Then Kaduna housewife feeds co-wife's baby acid. That is quite barbaric for someone to feed another person's house, a co-wife's baby with acid. Then organ trade, federal government to launch registry after Punch investigation. That story is on the Punch. Then celebrities share battles with addiction. Celebs share battles with addiction. That will be a quite interesting one for the young ones out there who think the celebrities are superhumans, and the things they do on TV, on their videos, are things that will keep them, that they are superhumans. But you just have to know celebrities are humans too. Don't let the lifestyle they live on TV or in movies fool you and make you to think that is the way life is. Now, wow, for the major headline, we have Emefiele 753 duplexes. Federal government to sell houses to low, middle-income Nigerians. Reptiles overrun estate as housing expert doubts government plan. That is a story on the major story we are going to take from the Punch. We have it that the federal government has concluded plan to sell a sprawling estate linked to former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, to low and middle-income Nigerians. The massive property comprising 753 housing units was recovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in December 2024. Now, according to the EFCC, it is the largest single asset recovery since this agency's inception in 2003. It covers over 150,000 square meters and includes duplexes and other apartment types. The estate was recovered following a final forfeiture order issued on December 2, 2024 by Justice Jude Onwubueze of the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja. Court documents filed by the FCC obtained by the Punch correspondent linked the property to Emefiele. This is the situation of Nigeria, whereby someone will embezzle money and use it to build such a gigantic estate.
I wonder why Emefiele always want to be on the negative side of the news at all time of his life. You take a flashback during his time of the CBN governor, when the issue of money scarcity came up to this country. People's money that they invested in the bank for their future use, that money became a special commodity to the bank so much that they cannot even see the money. It became so tough. A lot of people lost out money in the name of
looking for money to buy.
Looking for trying to go into cashless economy. And some people were even looking for where to buy money, even buy more than what they serve.
Yes.
You know, not knowing that these are a calculated attempt and also a calculated initiative of the CBN governor to acquire property enough to the large extent that he will make every Nigerian's life so miserable, to the large extent that he will make people to feel life not worth living. Look at the amount of properties only in FCT, Abuja. Nobody knows where some of these properties are being existing. Because most of Nigerian leaders decided to even invest far from Nigeria as a country because of the fear or unknown. So if they can be able to trace his property even outside Nigeria, you will find out that the properties will be much somewhere that Nigeria are yet to recover. Looking at the way Nigerians is even up to date recovering the looting of the former president Sani Abacha how many years ago now. And looking at Emefiele, I believe Nigeria will continue to recover so much of his looting in a such manner that Nigeria will become so surprised over his leadership as the former CBA governor of Nigeria. Of course, those properties supposed to be sold to the low-income Nigeria because they make money from the poor. Let me tell you, Nigerians make money from the poor more than the rich. Because in Nigeria, the poor people doesn't have voice. In Nigeria, the poor people don't have justice. In Nigeria, the poor people have no voice.
But they have a voice. We have given them.
You know, yes, the media will say something about it, but what is the process of the execution?
They have a time they vote.
You know, because in Nigeria, if the poor people ask for what belongs to them, it has become an offense. So you can imagine that properties are being acquired through the money of the poor. Because some other times, some people will have problem with the bank. When they go to the bank, they keep on playing on them until they will not decide to give up and say, let it. They will just say, let God take over. You know, Nigerian people, whenever they are able to fight injustice, they attribute it to God. And just chase their shoulder and walk away. And these are the situation of things in this country. Otherwise, you can never tamper with the rich money because they have those people managing the money for them. But the poor, the little income they put there, sometimes they will say the network malfunction. Or maybe something happened and the money disappear in their account. They will keep on giving them some forms to fee here, fee there, take it there. Even the process of recovering the money becomes so cumbersome for them. It becomes a very difficult task. Some of them are market women struggling to survive. And some other times when they discover that recovering 10, 20,000 naira from a missing in an account, it is becoming spending more than the 10,000 naira. Sometimes they not decided to forget it and go away. So this is a situation of things. Nigeria have to come out and speak for themselves. Nigeria need to come out and fight injustice. Nigeria need to come out and address issues of bad governance that is affecting them directly. Imagine a CBA governor acquiring properties that are worth about 753, isn't it? And now, nobody knows those who are existing elsewhere. They are yet to get more. So this is very, very unfortunate for our leaders.
Yes, if you look at it, the EFCC chairman, Ola Olukoyede, on Tuesday, officially handed over the 753 housing units to the Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa. So, those houses, so as they said, will be sold to low and middle income Nigerians. But when you talk about having a voice, Nigerians, Some TV is one of the organizations that ensure it gives a voice to the voiceless. Some TV is one of the organizations that speaks truth to power. So Nigerians, anywhere you are, believe that, yes, we are here to speak truth to power, to give voice to Nigerians. And also, we should know you have your rights, and at the same time, you have your duty as a Nigerian. So ensure that you do your duty as a Nigerian. Ensure that you speak up when you see wrong. Don't be sentimental about issues. Don't look at issues from the prism of ethnicity, or religion, or political interest. These are some of the things that will eventually may take away your rights. So do your duties and enjoy your rights as a Nigerian. And that is what we are here to do as Some TV. I will keep supporting the Nigerian masses. I will keep supporting the Nigeria and Nigerians as a whole. So with that, let's move to another paper this morning. Well, we have to move to another paper this morning. Let's go to, okay, from the Punch. We've taken the Punch. Let's see which of the papers we have. Let's go to the Matrix. Just take the headlines on the Matrix. Then we'll go to this day. On the Matrix, Zenith Bank backed inter-school swimming competition holds today. That story is on the Matrix. Then Syria, McTominay Lookman scores Napoli pipe Inter Milan to title. That is the Italian Serie A. The Napoli won the Italian Serie A with just 1 point over Inter Milan. Why I don't my former church, Shea. That is stories on the Matrix. The DSS police arrest 20 for allegedly hacking UTME results. Suspect confirms to hacking CBT to discredit JAMB, discourage students. That is a serious one. The U.S. heightened security after a fatal shooting of Israeli embassy staff in Washington. Federal government goes tough on airlines lifting passengers without visa into Nigeria. Let us look at that story where DSS arrests 20 for allegedly hacking UTME results. Suspect confessed to hacking CBT to discredit JAMB, discourage students. What's your take on this story?
Talking about a 20-year-old student hacking a JAMB portal now to forge a result. And he has confessed that he has done this, he committed this crime. And UMTE now coming out to say Nigerians' performance in the exam is very, very poor. Why they also started speaking in so many languages of their network has malfunctioned and issues of that and this. You see, whenever you want to introduce something, first and foremost, you look at the negative aspect of it. You look at the loopholes. Especially in this country, Nigeria, we are the issue of criminality is on the high side. In anything you want to do in this country, you look at the area of criminality, find ways of blocking all the areas that will make the idea will not be effective. It is believed that the young man may have a link with people who are working in JAMB that may connect him to have access to their portal.
You don't need that. In technology, let me tell you something about technology. You don't need an insider to hack. A good hacker doesn't even need any information. They are specialists in this case. And if you ask me, in technology is good, but technology also has its own soft underbelly. And during this period, I've done some analysis of examinations across the world that uses CBT, and you see you can't do away with such glitches and technical issues. Sometimes it is failure of the system, sometimes it is third party like hackers trying to discredit the system. So this happens. What we just need to do is to make things better. And if you ask me, among all the entrance exams written in Nigeria today, JAMB is still the most credible exam of all, despite all its technical issues. If you see what is going on in WAEC and NECO, you will shed tears for the future of Nigeria. But JAMB has some itches. But if you ask me, the way JAMB is going is the way forward for the Nigeria examination. We need to replicate what is happening in JAMB in our WAEC, in NECOs, and even in the schools, in the higher institutions, and the rest of it. But when it comes to technology, nothing is perfect. Anything can happen. We've seen CBT tests, even in the US, in the UK, in India, suffer such glitches. And what they just need to do is to clean up the distance, and those affected, you look at those areas affected, and you reset exams or they rewrite. So this shows that whatever you do, whether in Nigeria, whether in the US, there will always be hackers ready to hack it. And I think this syndicate, now that they've been arrested, there should be investigation into it to ensure that all the loopholes should be looked into. Then you need more maybe you need better hands in the area of technology that will work against these hackers. Because if not, if we can't go back to the past, that is definitely. But we must move forward. And the way to move forward is to keep getting better every year, every year. That is my view on this, if you ask me.
Yes, I agree with you. People learn from their mistakes. And from the mistake, there's going to be correction. And then from correction, there's going to be perfection.
Definitely.
So Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah.
It has become a gradual process. Some structures were being bring down and rebuilt, and new technologies and innovations came in, ideas and decision-making were also involved. And that is how people see Rome as the most beautiful city in the whole world. So JAMB can also improve and get to perfection stage. Of course, they are trying their best to ensure that what is expected of them is being done. You know, Nigerians will always want to have their way as far as this country is concerned. Some other persons want to have a BSc without even going through any process. But you find out that they are having even master degree. When you ask them to write something, they will say, I have a secretary who can do the writing for me. You know, there are many Nigerians. That is, as a journalist, sometimes I do say that we have a lot of graduates in Nigeria. We have a lot of people with certificate in Nigeria. But people who have the knowledge are very few. Because by the time you want them to display the quality of what certificate they are holding, you will not get that out of them. You will find out that somebody having BSc and is unable to read and write. Sometimes you ask yourself, by what means that individual is able to get to that stage? Look at the processes of having a BSc. After your secondary school, you need to write your final examination. Then you have to go and write JAMB. Then you need to go to university and also continue writing internal exams. Then look at the very huge process of having a BSc. And in Nigeria, you will find out that somebody will have a BSc where he was able to even write a bad sentence. You cannot even present anything that will prove that this person has been into the four corner of a classroom. So this is the situation of this country. So Nigerians who are in the position of restructuring the educational system should look at the negative aspect of it. And let me draw your attention. The falling standard of education in Nigeria, it's as old as when Nigerians introduced this privatization of education in Nigeria educational system. Now that the education of this country is almost 70% is in the hands of the private sector, it's really affecting the country in so many ways.
But there's no country that will not deregularize the education.
Of course,
after the days of public schools,
that how many monitorization.
There's nothing wrong with monitorization.
They have not been doing it.
There's nothing wrong with that. What they don't need is proper. What you need is proper regulation. Go to anywhere in the world. You have private schools. You have public schools. The thing is that government must maintain standard. You must maintain standard. It is not about public or private. Even the public schools, how good are they? The public schools themselves, I don't think there's anybody in his right senses. Well, I'm sorry for using the word there. I don't think there's anybody with the right resources that will take his or her child to a public school as it is today. So the problem is not private or public. The problem is the regulators. And it's not only in education. It is in all sectors. So education cannot just be something out of
anyway, let JAMBs continue to work on their arrows, and in a subsequent times, we believe our JAMB exam will reach a perfection stage.
Yeah.
As we earlier said, Rome was not built in a day. It was based on mistake and correction of errors and decision taking that make they are where they are today. So, JAMB, I give you kudos. You have done a good job and continue to do a good job.
Well, let me just round up what to see how bad these things are. Candidates who benefited from the illegal scheme reportedly paid 700,000 naira and 2 million for high scores. Investigation has also revealed that several members of the syndicate are proprietors of private school tutorial centers who use the proceeds to fund their so-called special centers, the source explained. The source said the suspects were arrested in coordinated operations across states, including Lagos, Edo, Anambra, Kano, and Delta. So the identities of the have not been revealed because investigation is still going on.
And you can see it now. The benefactors originated from what? From the private
How
sector.
many of the public schools have facilities to run? Let me tell you something. We will be deceiving ourselves. On Monday, do an investigative this thing. Go to any public school or private school writing WAEC. Go and see the routes. Go and see. Now, they may not find public schools because how many of the public schools have facilities for CBT?
You see, let me tell you one funny thing. Let me tell you one funny thing in the Nigerian system of education today. If you go to a place and you are able to even demonstrate qualities of knowledge, a kind of an excellence knowledge that you exhibiting it before the people to know that you really school well, they turn against you. That maybe you are claiming to be brilliant, or you are claiming to be superior, or whatsoever could be the case. Because Nigerian system don't care about what you know is who you know. You understand? Now, education. Let me tell you, education is the only weapon that can be used in transforming an individual. According to the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, of his blessed memory, you don't play with education. Education is a substance of addressing issues affecting the society in totality. All this issue of banditry, kidnapping, and so on and so forth, criminalities, miscrimes tormenting the society, all these kind of vices that we are experiencing within our society, you will find out that those people who are executing this kind of acts have no knowledge. They are not educated people.
But their sponsors are highly knowledgeable people.
That is the,
and even the guns, the armed dealers are
that is the power of education. The educated ones, they know that if they can go there, the risk attached to it is high. So if they are being affected, it will destroy their life and jeopardize their future.
More educated people have destroyed Nigerian economy more than the uneducated ones. For years, we've been having educated people as politicians who run our government. So, to me, education, very good. But education without moral, this moral strength ends up nothing. You may be the most educated, you may speak the best English, you may be able to solve maths, you may be able to do English. But what we need is not only education. It is this strong moral fiber in which you use whatever you have, whether it is education, whether you are non-educated, you have a strong moral fiber that wherever you are, you impact that place positively. Because if you ask me, educated people have done more harm to this country than non-educated people. Look at our elections. They are run by professors, highly educated. I would say that those ones who don't know what they are left from their right. And even look at our politicians. Majority of them are highly educated people. We have people that have worked in private sectors, they worked in government. So what we need in Nigeria and what will make our education better is not education itself. It is the moral fiber of those that run the affairs of the country. So if we don't get that right, whatever we put into this pot, be it education, even look at our religion. The same lack of moral fiber have made even some religious leaders to be siphoning and misusing their positions as religious leaders. So Nigeria, before we can get everything right, we need to have there's this morality that comes with doing the right thing. That whether you are educated or uneducated, whether you are semi-skilled or skilled laborer, you must ensure that you put in your best for the betterment of the society.
You see, Mr. Abraham, let me tell you something. I was opportune to cover a seminar and a workshop organized by the university in Nasarawa State, and a professor, the former vice chancellor of Benue State University, Professor David K, was invited as a guest speaker he presented a paper about Nigerian leadership and political leadership. He made a point. He said that the requirement of the INEC that qualifies somebody in contesting election is a secondary school certificate. But looking at the challenges Nigeria is going through and the demand of leadership and good governance has gone beyond the issue of a secondarian, neither a diploma holder. It must be a university graduate.
Let me ask the professor. Go to the universities that is run by XS. How many of those universities are properly run, even by the professors?
You know, he was not saying that the certificate, the most, according to his own presentation, if you find out that if you go to INEC and make a finding, most of those politicians, what they present there is their secondary school certificate. And I want you to understand that the INEC even said that, I think Nigerian Constitution even said that it's secondary school attempt. Not even holding a secondary school certificate. In terms of WAEC or NECO. Secondary school attempt. Even if you can go to just one and finish just one term and leave that place, you have a 10-term secondary school. So based on Nigerian Constitution, you are qualified to contest any
if you ask me, the problem of Nigeria is not about educated leaders or uneducated leaders. The problem of Nigeria is bad leaders. You've had leaders in the past who were not very educated, but they were leaders. And we've had very highly educated people come and fumble. To me, okay, if you say it is because of if we do a proper analysis, we've had more educated people in position of power than people that are barely educated. If you ask me, even at the national level, even those that don't have maybe university degree. Let me tell you something, and I stand to be corrected. 10 years as an officer in the army, the experience as 10 years as a senior officer in the army is more in terms of experience, in terms of exposure, in terms of education than 4 years in the 4 walls of the university. Because the practical leadership, practical bureaucracy, that is where you get it. It's, to me, it's more, it gives more, makes a man a more balanced person in society than 4 years in the 4 walls of theory in the district. So education, it should not be restricted to the 4 corners of
Mr. Abraham, let me tell you something. Whether we like it or not, in this life, you can't give what you don't have. In any aspect of human nature, for leadership at this present dispensation, in this present 21st century, is able to find its position at the excellence level, education must play its role effectively.
Yeah, I
we need knowledge to drive our affairs. We need knowledge to execute our ideas. We need knowledge to provide development, because the world is transforming by itself.
Yes.
Things are being coming into the world based on the way the world himself wants to exist.
Yes.
So the dwellers of the world, which are the human beings and other facilities, also need to go along with the changing of the world. So in any aspect of it, education must play an effective role for development to take place, even talking about good governance.
When I talk about education, to me, the way the world is going, education has gone beyond the 4 walls of the ivory tower. Education, a balanced education is not an education of 4 years in the university. It's an education that thinks beyond what is being taught in the district. You may have all the degrees in the world, but if you don't have the innovation, if you don't have what we call the innovative mind today, you won't get anywhere. We've seen. Let me give you an example of where I will tell you that education is not innovation. Education is not found only in the 4 walls of the university. Go to the major markets in Nigeria. There's this system the Southeast use, they call this Unwa boy system of business. You find someone that's barely finished a secondary school, maybe a secondary school dropout, goes into business, learns a trade in 6 years. And I'm telling you, within the next 10, 15 years, it will be an importer and exporter of goods. At the same period, you may have a young man go through this thing, write WAEC, write JAMB, come out with second-class upper, and will go work for that Unwa boy that barely finished this thing. And when you come to business, you sit down with these guys. They don't need big grammar. They tell you the practical term. You put this together, you go to China, you bring in this good, and they're adding. They are contributing to the economy. And now, people are beginning to realize there's education in this market that can be found in the four walls of the university. And I've seen young graduates now, they finish, they graduate, then they go to those markets to learn the skills, then use their university education to back it up. So education is now wider. It's much, much wider than what it used to be. And until we realize that, we will just be pushing our children into the four walls of the university while the world has gone beyond that.
Maybe let us just leave the issue of education and go to the next agenda of discussion.
Well,
whether we like it or not, those people who don't have education, but they are trading and finding their ways.
That is education. That is education.
Let me tell you something. They are still surviving on the research and discovery and inventions of the educated people.
Are you telling me someone that have sold, been in the market, is educated?
Yes,
okay, some of them have grown. Okay, I can tell you, Mr. Coach Charis Motors. He didn't finish secondary school. He's one of the best resource persons when you talk about business today. He has factories that produce a lot of things, and many of them go.
When you're talking about an educated person, is not somebody who holds certificate. You're talking about somebody that have knowledge.
Yes.
You can only quantify the knowledge, whether he has it much or he has it little. Going to school, graduating with certificate is a different thing altogether. Remember, if you want to discuss education, it's a large area.
That is where I want
to go. It may take the whole of our time.
Nigerians think education is when you go to university.
I went to cover a convocation in one university. I interviewed a professor, a vice chancellor of another university, and I asked the vice chancellor, what are the implications of expelling a student at 400 level over an offense such a student committed in year one of his or her own in the university, while already acquiring knowledge and having the experiences of the university? That is why you go to some universities now, they don't even expel students any longer. They apply a different punishable measures, because most of those people who are into hacking, forgery, 419, all these kind of evil things that get to do with educational background that make people to feel education is a root of evil, are those people who went to university and were expelled came out without a certificate.
Not most of them. A lot of university graduates, a lot of non-graduates, they are into fraud. There is
because
there's nothing. I see. I've done this thing.
So let's go to the next paper.
Well, I think
let's leave the sleeping dog lies, because education we have a lot to discuss, but another time we'll say much about it.
More. Well, I think at this time we'll have to go for a short break. We've exceeded our time discussing education. Try to educate ourselves. That is part of the education. We'll go for a short break. Where we'll come back. We'll be back with the Taraba News segment of the morning show. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations, Honorable Shonzin James Bernard, on behalf of the ministry, wish to inform the general public that from now onward and as part of our ongoing commitment to maintaining a clean and sustainable environment, the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations frowns at the way citizens of the state don't keep their immediate environment clean, dump waste indiscriminately across the state like in the gutters, thereby blocking drainages and waterways, causing flooding. It is on this regard that I wish to communicate some significant changes and regulations innovations that will take effect immediately. 1. Keep your immediate surrounding clean. Take responsibility of waste generated by you. Package your waste properly to be taken to certified dump sites. Avoid dumping waste in gutters and waterways. Participate in community cleanup initiatives. 2. The ministry have reintroduced sanitary inspectors who, together with enforcement team, will be deployed to conduct regular inspections throughout the state. They will assess compliance levels and provide guidance to those who may need assistance with proper waste disposal practices. Please cooperate with them. 3. Activities of private waste managers in the state have been banned forthwith until an appropriate operational permits are obtained from the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations. 4. Illegal dumping of waste by any private waste managers shall henceforth attract a fine of 350,000 naira only and their utility truck confiscated. 5. Illegal dumping of waste by an individual shall henceforth attract a fine of 150,000 naira only. 6. Cleanliness starts from your home. Be a part of the solution and not part of the pollution. If you can't clean up your surroundings, then don't make it dirty. 1. Who maintains cleanliness keep away diseases. Follow cleanliness to kill tomorrow diseases. Together, we can create a cleaner, greener, and healthier Taraba. Announcer, Philibus Daniel Adamu, Permanent Secretary. The Honorable Commission.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system.
Are you a businessman or woman? Do you need loan to grow your business? At Taraba Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing branch, Zenith Bank agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Are you a business?
Hello, my beautiful people. My name is Indy Maxine Weir, and I am the International Coordinator of the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival. I am here to tell you so much about this film festival and how you can participate and benefit from this film festival. So talking about film festivals, I'm sure you've heard of the popular ones like the Toronto International Film Festival, the Berlin International Film Festival, and of course you have the Venice International Film Festivals, who have made impact, global impact, over the years on the film industry. And much like these film festivals, the Taraba Human Rights Film Festival intends to make such an impact. But you know what? It is unique. It is talking about human rights, and that is the area we intend to impact using themes. For our foreign participants, you have already sent your entries, over 1,000 of them from 100 countries all across the globe. We need you to come down to Taraba so that we can sit down together and go through them, go through our collective history, what has been, what is right now, and what should be. Together we can come up with the standard of what human rights should be in our different countries, using themes to tell our stories and to give our recommendation, if you know what I mean. Being out here is so refreshing. It takes me to the second reason why you should be part of the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival in person. Fun fact, you know that Taraba State is home to the Mambila Plateau, which is known for its beautiful scenery and cool weather? I can tell you this for free. I am looking forward to that. And that's not all. It is home to the Kashimbila Game Reserve, where there are different animals and you get to experience them. You gotta have that safari feel. And also, it doesn't stop there. There is the Pitako Hills, very amazing rock formations, and you just see the beauty in it. You see, I don't even know, it makes you speechless. And then you go to building up to the Barup waterfalls. You've got me on that alone. It is going to be an amazing experience, and I think you should be here in person, especially to our foreign participants, because it's going to leave you in awe. And now to our local participants, I have a question for you. What if you have the platform that could make your dreams come true? And yes, you do. That is what the Taraba International Human Rights Film Festival is going to do for you. It's going to be a platform where you can showcase your work, showcase your talent, and even network with other participants from all over the world. We're expecting foreign participants to come, participants that you could interact with, to make very beautiful partnerships. It is an opportunity for you to take your work to a global level. Tell me you wouldn't want that. So you may ask, how is TARIF going to benefit the government? But I have this to say, TARIF is going to be an opportunity for the government to promote its cultural diplomacy. When young people interact by networking with foreign participants from across the globe, it is going to make for a beautiful partnership that will go ahead and promote the cultural diplomacy of Taraba State and even Nigeria as a whole. Secondly, this is an opportunity for the government to partner with investors from around the globe. This is going to be a great opportunity, as it is going to even boost the economic situation of the states. So finally, this is going to benefit our youth, as it will give them the opportunity to put their work out there and put them on the global stage to achieve great things. So why not? Why would the government not participate? I don't see why. I believe that TARIF is going to be fun, innovative, and it's going to be amazing. So did I tell you of the fun activities lined up for TARIF 2025? Okay, so this is it. There is going to be a cultural dance and drama competition themed My Heritage, My Right. I am definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun. So whatever you do, make sure you do not miss TARIF 2025. This is just a tip of the iceberg. Be there.
Man or woman, do you need loan to grow your business? At Taraba Business Development Center, we offer both business and personal loan with flexible repayment plan. We are located in different parts of Taraba State. Jalingo branch, opposite Civil Service Commission, 183 Amarua Way, 090-3134-4333. Zing Branch, Zenith Bank Agent beside College of Education, Zing, 070-3125-2559. Are you a businessman or...
Hello, hi, my name is Shailene Msiga. I am a Zimbabwean girl, but I grew up in South Africa, and I'm currently at my family home in Zimbabwe in hopes of connecting deeper to my roots. I came back here to do that because I think that's an important thing to do as an artist and in that journey. With that being said, I am a writer and a director, and I'm so excited to be part of the TERF 2025 podcast in order to talk about my directorial debut, a documentary called Forgotten: The Human Cost of Homelessness. About the documentary focuses on a select group of homeless people in Silverton in Pretoria, but deals with issues that are faced by these homeless people all over the world. The documentary's aim is to foster empathy for the homeless populations of the world. I find that many times, or these days, people have become so desensitized to the issue of homelessness, so much so that they find it very easy to walk by homeless people, forget